What is up, everyone? On my channel, I am DJ, aka Token Black Guy. If you guys are here for the first time, hit that like button, subscribe button. So, Rebel Moon, the newest movie from Zack Snyder, the quote unquote Star Wars killer and all that stuff. I watched it today. I'm gonna give my thoughts and a review of the movie overall, what I thought of it, and where do I start? Where do I start with this movie? This movie. I didn't hate it, but I liked it, but didn't like it. It's got a lot going on. This first one, there's a lot going on. First, let me start off with saying this is big. I know it was it's the first was it 3 volume, I think it is, or they calling it books, whatever they calling it, part one of a 3 part saga, whatever. So I understand there would it'd be a lot of introduction to characters, and I get that, but there's a lot of characters in this thing, and I feel like one of the issues in the movie, I believe, and I'm not gonna just talk all negative. I'm gonna give some positive stuff. Is that there's so many characters and they spend so little time on these characters, and then the ones that I was somewhat interested in, they just kind of just forgot about. And most characters aren't memorable. I right now I couldn't tell you all the characters' names, except for the main character, Kara. Um, Everybody else is kind of forgettable. But for example, there's a robot in there, an android that you meet at the beginning, and I thought his whole little what they were leaning at his backstory. I want to know more about him. You see him in the first 15 minutes of the movie, and then you don't see him to the very last like end credit scene in the movie where he's just like in the field holding a staff and got some reindeer antlers on. I don't know what that means, whatever, but I want to know more about his backstory. Like, why was he, when he was fighting for the king or whatever before he got assassinated, like, how did he become where he was and everything? And the whole why they can't attack anybody now anyway. But again, so one problem is they got a lot of characters, which I understand, but at the same time is like you never get attached to these characters because they spend so little time on it. So there are some characters end up dying in this, but you're like, oh well, 'cause I don't remember who he was or she was, so it's like not that big of a deal when they die. The story kind of it makes sense. It's heavily borrowed off of Star Wars. Like this is basically Star Wars. I heard I think Rob said it was like Wolfenstein. I thought kind of like a little Warhammer in it. I mean, it's got a mix of every Star Wars. I mean, you got griffins, you got spider people, aliens, and you got knockoff lightsabers and stuff like that. So it just got you're looking at it like, oh, that's a knockoff of that, or I know where they got that from. Which I understand that you are influenced by everybody. I think it was supposed to be like Zack Snyder's pitch for a Star Wars movie, so I get that he's heavily influenced by that, but it's like a lot of it was like I don't know. It felt like it was trying to find its own identity, but didn't really have its own identity as a movie. Um, Also, holy slow motion Batman. Now I know that's Zack Snyder's thing, the slow motion speed up ramp thing, which I think is cool. But dude, every scene, every action scene had that, and like it was that unnecessary parts. Like one dude just throws a random punch, and they do like the slow motion thing. Like everything was slow motion. Like if they would have taken half of the slow motion out, this movie probably would have been half an hour longer. Because I just felt like the slow motion make the movie that much longer. I mean, like I said, I like the slow motion that Zack Snyder does, but this one was just over. It's like you got a good season and you put too much season on it, so that was like too salty. So that's what I felt with that aspect of it. Um, like I said, characters they weren't very memorable. I want to say, and the ones that I want to know more about we didn't get to learn more about. Thought the villain was good. He had his moments and everything. I've been calling them space Nazis. I can't remember the name of the Empire, as we're calling it. I've been calling them space Nazis. That their main guy, he was kind of menacing and everything. I thought, uh, I felt like Cora, the main character, is Kara or Cora. I liked her, but at times I felt like she was just too good. You know what I mean? Like not in a sense like morally good, like just too good as a fighter. Like she never like really got beat up or like faced adversity. It's like the very like last fight scene in the movie, which I thought was kind of weak if you ask me. But yeah, I mean, overall, like it. it was an interesting movie to watch, and I do recommend you watching it. Like I wouldn't tell someone, oh, don't watch it. Like it's on Netflix. You know, if you got Netflix, watch it. I would not have gone to the theaters to see this at all. Like this would have been a waste of money if I gone to the theaters because, like I said, even though it was somewhat good, it was very convoluted and very kind of all over the place for me. Now I do like all the different side, even though I said it has a different lot of different elements of sci-fi in it. I do like the sci-fi elements. Now some characters I think are stupid, like the one he's like Native American. He's all oiled up and tanned and everything. He got the long black hair, and they go to this planet because he's getting her gang together. And we'll talk about it in a second. And he's got to ride this griffin, and there's like a whole like 20-minute sequence of him riding this griffin. So I'm like, okay, they're gonna take this thing with them, have a sidekick. They leave the darn griffin there. I'm like, what was the point of all that? Like that made no sense to me. And her getting the band together is like a lot of the people that she's picking up is like they're just random people that don't have any kind of like um guess like reason to go against the empire that strongly, except for like the general makes sense, and the I can't remember, I guess you call them like thieves or whatever, the guy with the dreads and the girl with the paint on her face and everything. They had reasons because they were like on the run from it and stuff like that. I get right there will go, but like it like why we stop picking one kid up with the griffin? Like I don't understand that. And you got the farmer dude and the girl that with the knockoff lightsabers fighting the spider thing that was like kidnapping kids. How that what in what world would that add to the story? Like why are we spending 20-30 minutes on this thing that we get thrown into about, oh, this giant spider lady is kidnapping women and the kids, and we're gonna sit there and watch a lightsaber scene against a giant Madam Web wannabe, and that was it. I just didn't understand why everybody and if you've seen the scene, you know everybody's just kind of standing around watching, like, and they all got guns. Like shoot the damn Spider Girl. Anyways, I digress. But like I said, I didn't hate the movie. I did not gonna sit there here and saying that this is like oh the best next thing coming because it's far from that. It's far from that. I hope the next book kind of like gets everything more tied together. The ending was kind of interesting how what played out at the end. I'm not gonna spoil it for you. So I am curious about how that's gonna go forward in the future. So it has potential. I feel like it came out the gate real stumbly with this one. So hopefully it catches its footing in the second one and gets better. So, but I do recommend going seeing, I must going to see it, but watching Rebel Moon if you have not seen it. I'm not saying it's trash. I'm not saying that it's the best thing out there because it's far from that. But yeah, if you got Netflix, go ahead and watch it. 2 hours, 2.5 hours, I think it was. Yeah. So that's my thoughts on Rebel Moon. I guess right now I'm looking at Rotten Tomatoes. It got 24% critic rating and the audience is 66. So it has dropped down some since the audience started seeing it. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys thought about it. Rebel Moon. Like, did you hate it? Did you love it? You kind of like in between, like I am. Tell me what the parts that you liked and what you didn't like. I also think visually the movie was very good. Like it had some very good space stuff. But then some of them kind of like the backdrop was kind of bad or whatever. But yeah, for the most part, I thought the special effects, I thought different planets were interesting, especially a lot of the space scenes. But it was dark in a lot of spots, like not like dark and like ominous, but like just dark visually. So, but other than that, I can sit here and like nitpick little things. It's worth a watch. I said worth a watch. Hopefully, the next part two, it's called something the Scavenger or something like that. I think it's called. So, but yeah, like I said, leave your thoughts down below. What you thought of Rebel Moon. You want to watch it? If you have, let me know down below. And if I don't see you before the new year, thanks for joining me this year and Merry Christmas because I'm filming this Christmas Day. So I hope you guys had a good Christmas. And yeah, on the road to 1,000 subscribers as always. Hopefully get it by the end of the year, but if not, we'll get it next year. Until then, guys, thanks for everything. Y'all have a good new year, new holidays, whatever you're celebrating right now. Whenever I post this video, yeah, have a good one. Peace.